Good morning. Good morning. There's a helicopter flying over. Interesting. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. But a ton of helicopters around this house lately. Happy sunrise, everyone. Look at us. And I thought, I wonder how many people will be on this morning because meditation last night. I'm definitely feeling it. I'm normally asleep by I'm normally in bed by 8. I'm asleep by 8:30. So tonight was I stayed up late, but it was for a good cause. We had beautiful meditation last night. So we are all just waking up to the day today. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of noisy out here. So today I wanted to go ahead and start talking a little bit about that one of the next steps that we're going to take, because starting next Monday, right? Yes. Okay. So today is day 7. So this is officially a full week. So for all of you who have gotten to, no, this is day 8. We're officially out of a whole week. Okay. So good job. We're starting week 2. That's so exciting. You're well on your way to this becoming a beautiful habit and to getting to enjoy the benefits of a sunrise practice. Though I think some of you have just started to experience benefits anyways, but now we're starting to get to the point where the body is starting to get the message. About a week in is when the body kind of goes, oh, wait, okay, I'm going to pay attention to this and really probably start making some of these changes. So at the beginning of next week, so we'll meet tomorrow morning, and then there's a live Q&A at 9 Pacific time for anybody who can make it. That'll just be a chance for us to interact like face to face and ask questions, talk about anything. And then, you'll have the weekend to yourself. You'll have the weekend to do your practice. And on Monday, we are going to start the second little piece of this, which is to incorporate sunlight at a later part in the day. So for the past 8 days, we've been priming our eyes, we've been priming our brains, we've actually even been priming our skin, because when we're out in the sunrise, our skin gets messages as well. Our skin is the largest receptor of light in our body. So we've been priming all of these parts and pieces of us to be able to handle more sunlight during the day. And we want to start taking advantage of that now. So if you haven't already, please do download the D-Minder app. It's in the first email I sent. They have it for both Apple and Android. So I don't think anybody should have any problem with that. And we're going to start learning about safely incorporating sunlight later in the day. Now, I personally, with my practice now, I will even lay out at high noon with UVs, the UV index as high as 12, which is very, very high. We get a lot of UV here in Arizona. I'm going to suggest that you don't start there. I'm going to suggest that you aim for like 10 a.m. or like 2 p.m. You'll need to use your app though, because latitude is going to change when you have vitamin D available. And the app is really great because it's going to take into account your location. It's going to take into account your skin type. It's going to take into account if it's sunny. It's going to ask you how much clothing you're wearing. And then it's going to start to track your vitamin D. Now, obviously, your baseline measurement may not be accurate. If you wanted to, you could go in and you could add, like back add any time you've spent in the sun in the past week. If you take a supplement, you can put that in. Why is this important? We want to know what our vitamin D levels are, because as we are in the summer right now, our body is designed to be storing vitamin D right now. We should be producing a ton of vitamin D. We should just be burning cholesterol, turning it into vitamin D, storing that so that during the darker, colder months, we have that vitamin D store to use, because vitamin D is responsible for so many things in our bodies. We do not want to be deficient in vitamin D, right? So we want to start thinking about that we're going to try to incorporate sunlight at another part in the day other than your sunrise meditation. What does this look like? It could literally just be a 5-minute break that you take in the middle of the day to go stand outside. Now, there are a few caveats that make this a little interesting. Any kind of makeup, lotion, anything like that, we do not want to be in the sun with that part of us exposed. So if you are someone who works all day, you work a 9 to 5 and you wear makeup to work, when you go outside, roll up your sleeves, right? This is the easiest way. Roll up your sleeves, let your arms get some sunlight. Even this is better than nothing. And put a hat on or keep your face in the shade. Chemicals interact with the sun. So we do not want any kind of chemical that's on your skin in the sun. So we want to try to find a time. I'm telling you this now so you can think about it over the weekend. You want to try to find a way starting next week to be able to have 5 to 20 minutes, again, depending on where you are, your skin type, your app is going to tell you that. 5 to 10 minutes of sun exposure during the day after sunrise. Your body is going to be extra good at producing vitamin D because you've been priming it with the sunrise. You've been giving it that message, oh, hey, we're doing this now. So the vitamin D minder, it's not perfect. Obviously, it's not as good as going and getting your blood tested. Some people produce vitamin D faster. Some people produce it slower. The app tries because it takes into account your Fitzgerald skin type, which is going to be a good clue. So for example, if you're like me and you're like a Fitzpatrick, like 1 or 2 on the spectrum, and you have red hair, your body produces vitamin D at a faster rate because it had to, because we come from like very high northern latitudes. If you're somebody who has like more olive in their skin, you're not going to produce vitamin D quite as fast. However, you're going to have a lot more resilience in the sun just naturally. Your melanin is just like naturally boosted. So you'll be protected. So it's okay for you to be in the sun longer, right? It makes sense. Pale skin, doesn't matter how much I activate my body, I'm still not going to be able to stay in the sun without burning, as long as someone who has a lot more melanin in their skin, they're going to be able to stay out a lot longer. So all of these things are going to be super important for ultimately getting to this point where we are functioning at our absolute best, where we're healing all of these things in our body. So just start thinking about, how can I incorporate, again, you're going to need to use your app, 5 to 20 minutes of sunlight while there's vitamin D available. Again, please play with the app, especially if you play with it today before we do Q&A tomorrow, so you can ask any questions. I mean, obviously you can ask questions next week too, but I want to get you primed for this because this is a key part in really starting to get the body to work in perfect function, is adding in sunlight later in the day. Now, when we start increasing our vitamin D. Everything's connected. So I wish this was simple. I wish I could be like, here's your one simple thing that you have to do to start healing almost every process in your body and getting like maximum benefit out of this. But that's not how it works, because everything is a sequence of events. So vitamin D is magnesium hungry. What does that mean? It means vitamin D uses a lot of magnesium in order to initiate the processes in the body. Almost every single one of us is magnesium deficient. Why? Because we've leached all of the magnesium and all of the good minerals from our soil. It's not in our water, it's not in our soil, so it's not in our food. So you also saw on the very first email, I talked about electrolytes and salt. This is why. As we incorporate sunlight throughout the day, we're going to want to start to supplement with a little bit of magnesium. I personally find Celtic sea salt to be the best type of salt for this. If you're going to use it, it has all 3 different types of magnesium. You do not need much. You need a sesame seed size amount of salt in the morning before you take your first water. Also, if you're not drinking water first thing in the morning, I would highly encourage this. Before you drink anything else, drink some water. And before you drink your water, take a little, tiny little piece of sea salt, Celtic sea salt. If you happen to have it like already ground, just do a tiny little bit in your palm, in your mouth, let it start to dissolve a little bit, drink some water. To some of you, that's going to sound disgusting. And I raise you, have you ever had a margarita with salt on the rim in the middle of a hot summer day? It's amazing. That's why, because our bodies crave salt when we are being dehydrated. Salt and lime is a perfect electrolyte. So whoever invented margaritas was a genius, because they were like, we're drinking tequila, which is going to dehydrate us. It's hot out. What should we do to counterbalance that? I know, we'll add ice, salt, and lime. Perfect. Now we're replenishing electrolytes while we drink. So I promise, if the salt thing kind of weirds you out to start, eventually your body loves it. I now, like, it is my favorite thing. I like wake up and my body's like, salt. And so I'll take like a little tiny bit of salt. Again, I'm not telling you to put like a whole teaspoon of salt in your mouth. We're talking about a sesame seed size amount of Celtic sea salt. Let it dissolve, drink your water, and then electrolytes throughout the day. Everybody's electrolyte tolerance is going to be different. I can drink, literally, I go water, and then I do 12 ounces with electrolytes. Water, 12 ounces with electrolytes. So my body takes a lot of electrolytes. I have met other people who drink one electrolyte supplement a day, like one 12-ounce electrolyte or 16-ounce electrolyte throughout their day, and they're good. You will know, your body will tell you. As you start to experiment with this, you will start to find yourself craving it. Like your body will be like, no, not water right now. I'll take some electrolytes. The good news is you can't really do any harm. So if you start out going water, electrolyte, and your body eventually goes, we probably don't need all this electrolytes. No problem. No harm done. So by doing that, what we're doing is we're now replacing the magnesium. I also take a magnesium supplement at night. This is how deficient we all are. Like, we're very, very deficient in magnesium, and that'll be a rant for another day. But when you don't have enough magnesium, it's really hard for your body to convert cholesterol into vitamin D. Vitamin D is the driver of all of these processes that we want. It is exactly the thing that gets triggered to support metabolic processes. It's what your body uses when it's going to decide, are we going to go into a stress state? Are we going to be in a calm state? It is literally, vitamin D and magnesium are probably the 2 things that most people are getting wrong, that are the simplest things to fix. And they're cheap because the sun is free and Celtic sea salt is not very expensive. So that's my rant. Start to get yourself ready for that, because Monday we're going to start adding that in. You are going to feel like a superhuman, I promise. Again, any questions about that, bring them tomorrow to the Q&A or send me an email so I can answer them on the Q&A. You will all get an email about that. All right. Good talk. Today, for the last part of this practice, we are going to just do some breathing exercises to get nice and centered. As I mentioned, I taught meditation last night, so I was in bed a little bit late and definitely feeling it. So I apologize. This is not, normally I really like to get into like long guided meditations, but I'm not going to lie to y'all. My brain is actually real tired today too. So we're going to go ahead and just do a little bit of a breathing exercise. So I want you to find your eastern horizon. Again, we're going to try to keep the eyes open while we do this. I'm going to take my glasses off so I will be able to see the screen as well. And as you gaze at that horizon, I want you to just take a second to notice the quality of light, because the quality of light right now is different than it will be at any other point today. Even during sunset, it's not the same quality of light. We have more red and orange coming through at sunset than we do right now. We have a lot of blue light this early in the morning. So take a second to just notice the quality of light. And as you find your gaze softening into the quality of light, go ahead and start to breathe in through the nose. As you breathe in, just feel the body coming into a centered place as you breathe in. Feel it coming down. Feel your connection to whatever you're sitting on. And then as you breathe out, feel your breath almost like a mist leaving to go join the sunrise. So as I breathe in, I like to breathe in the morning, I breathe in that blue light that we're getting right now, because blue light wakes up your brain. And as I breathe out, I imagine that it's returning like a white mist. And I see it like leaving my body and going to drift into the sun, into the sunrise. And I like to reflect while I'm doing this. So just keep doing that breath, breathing in, pulling in the blue light, breathing out the white mist. And I love to reflect on the fact that like all of the breath that I give out as white mist is going to come back again, right, throughout the day and all these other color spectrums. So back to that eye washing that we did. I'm sure that bird is really loud in the background. I'm sorry. So just finding that breath. Following the breath can be one of the most profound meditations, especially early in the morning. Good. And now take a second as you breathe into any parts of your body that feel sore, that feel like they're not awake yet. Imagine that blue light from the sun's rays coming in, traveling to any part of the body that's stuck, tired, sore. Maybe you have a few of those places. Good. And using the exhales to relax. You don't want to relax too heavily, but we have our eyes open, so we'll be okay. Moving the body. Good. So now just assess where you're at. If you're tired today, like I am, that's okay. I'm just going to lay back, look at the sky for a little bit. get some non-sleep deep rest out here as the sun rises. If you need to go back to bed, that's okay. We're going to talk about challenging ourselves, ways we can try to stay awake. We'll be doing that on the Q&A tomorrow. So no stress if you need to go back to bed. And if you have it in you to stay out here, find some movement out under the sunrise. Move the shoulders, move the back, do some twists. Really just luxuriate in what it feels like to be outside. And if you need to go in and go to bed, that's okay too. So wherever you're at, take a few minutes, try to get at least another 5 minutes to yourself out here this morning. And I will see you all bright and early tomorrow morning, and also hopefully on the live Q&A. There is a link in your email for that. All right, everybody, stay in the light. Har Mariese.